Okay, I decided to do a video on miscarriage. My one that I had naturally. Let me start saying when I was 13 weeks. I didn't know I was like that. I just started gaining weight, whatever. So it took me a while to know I was, that far along. Um, so yes, when I went to my boyfriend's house, I started light bleeding. And, I called the doctor and they said something about it's probably just regular spotting. And I'm like, okay. And they just told me to put on a pad or whatever and it should stop. And it continued. I need to go to the emergency room. So I was still at his house and it kept on bleeding and then it stopped and then it kept on. The next day it got heavier. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I told my mom I need to go to the emergency room. Went down there. I didn't tell my mom I was pregnant, so she found out and unexpectedly. And they like, okay, she's pregnant, and she was like, what? And so they had to fill my bladder up with water, and so they do a ultrasound on my stomach. They did it vaginally, um, and they saw the baby in there at 5 weeks. And I was 13 when my stomach got so big. It was expanded 13 weeks, but the baby was married at 5 weeks, and it was at the bottom. I got a picture of it also, but I don't have it. Um, and they said, there's no heartbeat, it's not moving or there like that. So they said that was in the early stage of miscarriage, and so they decided to carry me home. I started having all this pain. I said, Mom, help me, help me, help me. So she called a doctor, and the doctor says, get a heating pad, lay down, whatever. But that was like, after this whole thing happened. Went to the bathroom, I was bleeding continuously. I don't want to make people sick. If you have you know, like a soft stomach or whatever, or, you can't take blood, whatever, just, you won't let into this, because it gets dusty. I started bleeding. I had like, I don't know how contraction feel like, but it kind of feel like contractions, kind of like, because how they put it. It's like it stopped, and then it came on, and blood just ghost out of me, and it stopped, and it came on like 30 seconds apart, and it was hurting like crazy. Clogs of blood and everything was everywhere in the bathroom. I couldn't help, and I was vomiting. I was dizzy. I felt like I was dying. I didn't take any medicine or anything like that. And my mom was asleep at the time, and after that, I told my mom, and she called out the doctor and told me to get a heating pad. So I had to sleep in the bed with her, and it helped it. The doctor told me to come to the doctor in the morning, so I did. I was getting ready to go to the doctor. My mom had to work, so I had to go with my stepdad. And had no pants on. I was in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet seat with the seat down. Finna put on my pants, cause like I barely could move or stand because I was in so much pain that night. Well, that morning, really, cause it lasted for like 6 hours in that bathroom. I think it was there till like 5 a.m. Probably. Oh, God, that's a long time. And all of a sudden I just felt something just drop, and all of a sudden I looked down. The fetus came out of me. It had eyes, it had arms, it had legs, but it was probably like this big. And it's like I had to pick it up. I didn't pick it up with my hand, of course not. I got a bag, a Ziploc bag, and I picked it up with that. And it was so warm. And my daughter said, it probably just placenta. I'm like, no, no eyes. She saw it and she sent it off, and they gave me a $250 bill. Um, so it was the baby, and they said never had a heartbeat, so it's not like I killed it or anything like that. So good thing I applied for Medicaid before, when I knew I was pregnant. The day I knew I was pregnant, I applied for it, and they paid for my emergency room, the bills, and everything like that. And it was totaling up to $2,000, including the thing when they send the fees off to get examined. They pay for that, so I love you, Medicaid. I'm on that now. I'm in a step ahead program at my hospital, and they pay for everything. So I mean, if you low income, it's good to be on that. But I'm not low income, but by myself, independently, I'm low income. Um, what's I can say? Miscarriage hurt. I never had DNC, but they hurt so bad. I don't know if I went to DNC would have been better, but I still would have been in pain. Um, what else I can say? Whew, I don't know what else to say about that. But if you have any questions, just let me know.